Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya, also known as Stellar Studio Co, and today we have the long-awaited wing tutorial. Originally, I made these wings for my fairy drop that dropped earlier this month, and when I made the video, so many people were asking for a tutorial, so here we are. I would say that this tutorial is beginner friendly. You will need to know how to do double crochet, chain one. These wings will be for personal use only, just because I also sell these wings myself. But please make sure if you recreate them to tag me on Instagram because I would love to see the fairy wings that you guys create. And now let's get into it. First, to talk about the wings themselves. So there's multiple ways to make crocheted fairy wings from when I researched. The other alternative way is to get wire to do that. Now, I did not have enough confidence in myself to do that because I knew I was going to get so frustrated if I try to shape the wings myself. So to eliminate that, I'm using a pre-made shaped fairy wings. And these fairy wings are just those regular fabric ones that Target sells. I got mine on Amazon, unfortunately. But you can also find them at the thrift store or maybe even Party City. So for the designs of the wings themselves, I completely freehanded them from this granny square tutorial that I saw. These were squares that I didn't use the corners and the bottoms, and these ones I turned into diamonds to fit the shape of them, and then you will be sewing them onto the wings themselves. So for the materials you'll need, I am going to be using a lace weight yarn, so I'm going to be using mohair. I'm using the Hobby Diablo brand in the color Natural White. But I know most people have acrylic yarn on hand, and if you are using that, you only need to use one skein of it. The only reason I'm doubling it up is because it's mohair and I want it to be more opaque instead of translucent. And you're also going to need a 4.5 millimeter hook, scissors, of course, a darning needle. And this is optional, but I highly recommend having a whole bunch of stitch markers. This really helps with the attachment process and when we're sewing the patches onto the wings, just to kind of help them stay there, just kind of like if you were putting pins into a piece that you were sewing. First, with the wings, we're going to start off by cutting off the extra fabric. Once that's done, you want to pull apart the glue, and then your wing should look like this. So the square uses the same pattern for making the top wing and the bottom wing. So I'm going to tell you when to stop for the bottom wing and when to continue for the top wing. So let's get into it. Okay, we're going to start by doing the bottom section. So we're going to start by doing a slip knot. So create the slip knot however you know how to. You're going to insert your hook and then you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to go ahead and slip stitch into that first chain. And then once you have that, you're going to have a little ring. So now you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And this first chain 3 is going to be your first double crochet of this round. And we're going to be adding 15 more double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into your ring, yarn over once more, and you're going to have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn through the first 2, yarn through the second 2, and then there you have your first double crochet. And I'll do it one more time with you. And then now we have 3 double crochets and we want a total of 16. So I'm going to be doing 13 more double crochet and I will check back with you when I finish this round. We've reached the end of round 1 and now you're going to do a slip stitch into the chain, top of the chain 3. And that's going to end round 1. Now we're going to work on round 2. So we're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is going to count as our first double crochet in our chain 2. So in the next stitch, you're going to put 1 double crochet. And then you're going to chain 2. And then in the next stitch, you're going to add 1 double crochet. and then you're going to chain 2. So now you're going to repeat this pattern without skipping any stitches, and you're going to have a total of 16 stitches at the end of round 2, and I'll come back once I have mine done. So this is what it should look like after you complete round 2, and to end off round 2, we're just going to go ahead and slip stitch into the 3rd chain from our chain 5 that started this round. Now we're going to start round 3, and round 3 is the last round in creating the bottom pieces for the wings. So we're going to start with a chain 2, and then we're going to create these types of clusters. This space, this first starting one, is going to be different from the other ones, and it's just because we're starting it. So we're going to yarn over, put our hook through our space like we're starting a double crochet. We're going to have 3 loops on our hook, and then we're going to pull through the first 2, but we're not going to complete the last 2. And then you're going to yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over and pull up a loop, pull through those first 2, but again, do not complete them. And now we're going to have 3 loops on our hook. And a yarn over once more, pull through, and pull through those first 2. Now we're going to have 4 loops on our hook, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those, and then you're going to chain 3. So for the rest of the round, similar to this one, you're going to yarn over, put your hook through the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through the first 2. You're going to yarn over, put your hook in that space, yarn over and pull up a loop, and pull through the first 2. So now we have 3. You're going to yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over and pull up a loop, and pull through those first 2. So now you have 4. You're going to yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through 2. And now you're going to have a total of 5 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 of those, and then you're going to chain 3. And now you're going to continue doing that all the way around. So I'm going to do that one with you guys one more time. So after our chain 3, you're going to yarn, put your hook through that space, yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn through those first 2. You're going to yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over and pull up a loop, and pull through those 2. You're going to yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through 2. So now we have 4, so we're going to do it one more time. Yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over, and pull through 2. And now we're going to have a total of 5 loops on our hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 5, chain 3, and then you're going to continue this by putting this cluster in all of these spaces, and I'll meet with you at the end of this round. So I just finished my last cluster. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch into the cluster before this chain. So right here, you're going to stop and finish round 1, 2, and 3 to create your second piece for the bottom wing. So from this point, you will chain up 1, and you're going to want to leave yourself a long enough tail. I think this one was like 36 inches. Long enough tail, because you're going to be using this tail to sew these pieces to your wings. But now let's start on by making the top half of this wing, which is just 2 more rounds added on. So let's get into it. So from round 3, you're going to slip stitch into this next space, and you're going to chain 2. So we're going to create a corner, and just like from the previous round, you're only going to have 4 loops on your hook just because we're starting with this. So you're going to yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through 2, yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over and pull up a loop, and pull through those first 2, Now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to do it one more time. Yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through 2. So now we're going to have 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 of those loops. Oh, sorry, all 4 of those loops. And we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we're going to create our other corner. Our other corner will have the 5 loops on the hook. So you're going to yarn over, place your hook through that space, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through 2. And then you're going to yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through 2. You're going to yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over and pull up a loop and pull through those first 2. So now we have 4. We're going to do it one more time and we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop and yarn through those first 2. Now we have 5 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 of those loops. And now we're going to chain 4. So for our wings, we're only making 2 corners, so they are diamond shaped. So from our chain 4, we're going to do a single crochet into this next space. So into this next space, you're going to insert your hook. You're going to yarn over, and then you'll have these 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and that's your single crochet. You're going to chain 4, so 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to add another single crochet into that hook, into that space. And you're going to chain 4. And then you're going to put another single crochet into there. And you're going to complete this chain 4 and single crochet until you're completely at the top of the previous corner. So now I just completed my last single crochet before I start this corner. So from this chain 4, we're going to complete that corner again. So we're going to yarn over and put our hook through that space, and we're going to pull up a loop and pull through 2. We're going to yarn over, put our hook through that space, pull up a loop and pull through 2. We're going to yarn over, put our hook through that space, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through 2. So now we have 4. You're going to yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through 2. So we have a total of 5 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 of those loops. Now we're going to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to continue that corner again by yarning over, putting our hook through that space, yarning over and pulling up a loop and pulling through 2. Yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through 2. Yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over and pull up through 2. Now we have 4, so we're going to do it one more time. Yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through 2. And then you're going to pull through all 5 of those loops on your hook. After you finish that corner, you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to add that single crochet into that next space. And then until you get to this end of this round right here, you're going to put 1 single crochet, chain 4, 1 single crochet, chain 4, 1 single crochet, all the way until you reach right here. So now I'm finishing my last single crochet. So I just finished that last one. Now I'm going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to go ahead and slip stitch into that top of the cluster. And now we're going to begin round 5. So you're going to slip stitch into that space. And round 5 is pretty much similar to round 4. Well, we're going to chain 2 and we're going to create that first cluster. So that first cluster is only going to have 4 loops on the hook. So 4 loops, we're going to pull through all 4. And then we're going to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we're going to complete our other corner. So I'm going to yarn over and put our hoop, and we're going to be continuing and doing that cluster. Remember, this cluster is going to have 5 loops. So one more. And now we're going to pull through all 5 of those loops. And then we're going to chain 4. And then we're going to go ahead and put a single crochet into that next space. And then we're going to chain 4. And then we're going to put a single crochet into that next space. And then you're going to continue this until you reach your next corner. So you're going to single crochet, chain 4, single crochet, chain 4 all the way until you reach this corner. And when you reach this corner, I'll get with you. I'm back at that corner again, and I just finished my last single crochet before. So now we're going to just chain up 4, and then we're going to insert our hook into this space, and we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, put our hook through that, pull up a loop, pull through 2. So now we have 4 loops. Sorry if I'm out of frame, not used to crocheting this way. And then we're going to yarn over and then pull through those 2. Now we have 5 loops on our hook. And yarn over, pull through all 5 of those loops. We're going to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to continue by making that last corner. So we're going to yarn over, put our hook through that space, pull up a loop and yarn through 2, yarn over, put our hook through that space, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through 2. Then we have 3, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn through 2, 4, yarn over again, pull up a loop and pull through 2, and then we're going to yarn through over and pull through all 5. So then we created our second corner, and we're going to chain 4. Okay, and now into that next space we're going to add our single crochet, and then we're going to repeat by chaining 4, putting a single crochet into that next space. And then we're going to continue by doing that all the way down until we reach this point again. So you're just going to chain 4, put a single crochet, chain 4, put a single crochet all the way until you reach this point. So I just finished my last single crochet. I'm going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of that cluster. And now I'm going to chain 1, and again I'm going to leave a long enough tail. The longer the better, to be honest. It's okay if you have any like excess yarn. It's better to have more than to have less. And now I'm going to go ahead and snip my yarn off, and then I'm going to pull through, and I'm just gonna tighten that up. And now I have one of my second big wing, my other one, and then here is my last bottom one. You'll have a total of 4. My 4th one is already assembled on the wing, so now we're going to begin the assemblement process. So right here I have all of my pieces inside the wings, and basically what we're going to do is you can sew without putting the stitch markers on, but the stitch markers help stretch it into place. But I just wanted to show you guys what it would look like if you're not doing the stitch markers. Just know that you're going to have to stretch it into place while you do it. Just added all of my stitch markers for the top half, so you can see that it's kind of stretching it into place and you don't have to worry about like holding it. And make sure that when you're doing your top part that it is its own singular wing. These do kind of blend in with each other, but basically you're just going to sew all around by going in through these stitches and spaces to connect them to the wire so it starts to spread out and really give good detailing. So this part is going to take some patience just because you're working with a long tail, and in my case I'm also working with mohair, but we're going to go through a stitch, go through the bottom of the wing, because what we're going to essentially do is loop our stitches around, pull our tail through so it can get caught on top, and then we have our first stitch, and then we're just going to keep stitching it from this direction all the way down. So when you're sewing, you're going to continue to want to go through only one side and up and under it, so you create a big tie essentially. So you're only sewing it like this, so that's going to be like creating, that was our third one, and then I'm just going through the stitches underneath and pulling my really long tail through to tie it on top of the wing. So you're doing this all the way around. And then here's just a little close-up. So I'm going in the stitch but behind the wire. So then it's going to create a little loop, so by the time you pull it, you're tightening it up onto the wire. Just a note, when you're attaching, you don't have to attach through these stitches. You can actually attach through the spaces, and I would do about maybe 3 run-throughs in each space all the way to the bottom. So to get this space to close, you're going to go put your needle underneath. Underneath your top wing and over the bottom into the space closest, and then you're going to go underneath the top of the wing, and then you're going to just pull through. Just going to continue to pull it, and then it's not perfect, but it's still cute, and then that's just going to close it and create like another design. So I just finished this wing, so I have half of it completed. I'm about to start the other half. For this other half, you're just going to continue the process, go through these spaces 2 to 3 times all the way around, and this part does get a little bit difficult. You just have to sew underneath this wing, and then vice versa, same way, you're just sewing over this wing and make sure that it's not attached, and then you'll have your own pair of wings. And now I'm a little water fairy. I hope you guys really enjoy this tutorial. I know I have a long way to go. This is like my second tutorial, so hopefully, you know, it worked out. If you have any questions, please just comment those down below, and I'll make sure I'll get to them. I wanted to try to have this up before Halloween, but that was not the case because today is Halloween, so happy Halloween to my spooky friends. But if you are seeing this outside of Halloween, now you have a tutorial for fairy wings for the Renaissance fair, or maybe a little fairy birthday party, or something that involves fairies. Also, I apologize for the audio. I record this on my iPhone, and some reason now my audio on my iPhone is trash. But regardless, please tag me in all of your creations on Instagram at Stellar Studio Co. I would love to see the types of wings you guys create, the types of colors you guys create. I would just love to see it. Anyways, I'll see you next time, and have a stellar day.